Hello, and welcome to Unmasking Your Inner Saboteurs with Dr. Maria Malater. In this course, we will have an introduction to the saboteurs. We'll discover more about the saboteurs. Then we'll take a look at the practical skills for a breakthrough with these saboteurs. These saboteurs are barriers to your success or things that truly stress you out. So let's go ahead and explore what they are and how we can work with them. First, you want to pause the video and you want to go ahead and capture this QR code and go ahead and take the Positive Intelligence Saboteur Assessment. Restart the video after you have taken the assessment. Okay, now that you've taken the assessment, you found out that our biggest saboteur is a judge. We all judge things. This disrupts our life and distracts us. We judge situations, we judge others, and we judge ourselves. What are you judging right now? Is the weather good or bad, or is it just weather? So think of things that you judge every single day and how that interferes or interrupts or integrates with what you're doing for the day. So again, we all have judges and we judge situations, others, or ourselves. Then next, well, after we take a look at judging, we have to decide in these situations. So if the weather is snowy and rainy, we have to decide, are we going to accept or convert the situation? So there's two different ways to deal with when information comes in. So we can accept and we can view the situation and determine that you'll accept it as is. When you accept, you get freedom. Then you could convert. You could view the situation and decide how you can convert your thinking and your perspective. Then you move forward. So maybe we got a lot of snow. If you have snow in your area, and you can then decide you're going to get some exercise by breaking out some snowshoes or cross-country skis. So you've converted the situation where some people may stay with inaction because they're not accepting or converting the situation that it snowed outside. So along with the judges then, so that's one tool you can use when interfacing with your judge and the accomplished saboteurs to accept or convert. So let's learn more about the accomplices. So there are 9 accomplices. So first, everyone has a judge. Then you could have one of 9 different types of accomplices. Number 1 is restless. This person has greater excitement. They're constantly busy and they're rarely at peace or content. They're always in motion. 2 is the avoider. They focus on positives in the extreme way, and they definitely avoid any difficult situation or any unpleasant tasks. They may avoid talking to you if there's some unresolved situation. So that's the avoider. 3 is the hyperachiever. This person is dependent on constant performance and achievement. They're highly focused on external success, and usually they're a workaholic. They're always going for the next thing. So that's a hyperachiever. 4 is a controller. They have the need to control and take charge. They're confrontational, straight talker. They push people beyond their comfort zone. And, they definitely come alive after they've done the impossible and they've beat the odds. That's the controller. 5 is hypervigilant. They may seek reassurance and guidance in procedures, rules, authorities, or institutions. They have constant expectation of mishaps or danger, so that puts them on alert, and they certainly have extra sensitivity to danger signals. Maybe you know someone who's hypervigilant. 6, a very common accomplice is a pleaser. There's a strong need to be liked. This individual needs frequent reassurance by others about their acceptance. Are they doing the right things? And so a lot of times they can't express their needs openly or directly. Do you know any pleasers? 7 is hyper rational. They have a very active mind. It's very intense. They are skeptical and often debate. Yet they are private and do not let too many people into their deeper feelings. 8 is victim, and they unconsciously are attached to having difficulties. Sometimes it could almost be an addiction to chaos. So if they're criticized or misunderstood, they tend to withdraw or pout, and they're dramatic and temperamental. They get attention by having emotional problems. Then finally, number 9 is stickler. They're punctual, methodical, perfectionist. They're highly critical of themselves and others, and highly sensitive to criticism. So these are overviews of the 9 accomplices. Maybe you saw yourself in these. Maybe when you looked at your results, you saw that 2 were pretty even. There's nothing bad about these saboteurs. It's really about being aware on what role they play in your life. I call it a successory. And the piece is one, these items can be a barrier to your success, or in many ways, they've helped you be successful. You've used these to navigate life and helped you be successful too. So there's 2 sides of it. The key here is to understand your own motivation and why you're choosing to act the way that you are. And it takes a bit of self-awareness. So in many ways, you could look at high achiever and why wouldn't that person want to have that? Well, it's a matter of why they're achieving. Like, what are their values behind that? So yes, being a high achiever and having drive is really important to being successful in life. However, when it becomes too much, it can be a distraction in life. So now take a pause and reflect on some of these questions. What are your responses to the results? What types of situations activate your saboteurs? Because there's usually a pattern. You want to give yourself some kindness and self-compassion. And it would be important for you to take some time for some self-awareness and think about some of what triggers, like what situations or people trigger your saboteurs. That will give you wisdom so you know how to manage your mind, make good decisions, and come from your own personal value set instead of reacting to a situation. When you encounter your judge or your saboteurs, here's a method, the SBIR method. So you're going to go ahead and stop, take a deep breath, let it back out, then identify what's going on. Talk to yourself, say, hey, that's my hyperachiever saboteur, and then reset. So this is one way to manage your saboteurs. So always just taking that time to say, hey, this is my judge going on, or why am I judging myself? Or tell your judge to shut up. And then pause, take a deep breath, and get back to the present moment. Because when you're working with the judges and the saboteurs, you're not in the present moment. So again, stop, breathe, identify, and reset. So this all comes from a framework of positive intelligence, and there are the saboteurs. And, it's really important for you to build up your mental fitness because you want to weaken the inner saboteurs. So these are all the things that are creating negativity in your life. And so, your saboteurs cause stress, anxiety, self-doubt, frustration, regret, shame, guilt, and unhappiness. So, you know, there's the judge and the saboteurs. However, you can learn the skills with your self-awareness and through breathing and lots of different techniques about how you can enlighten your sage side. And so when you're faced with the situation, and your saboteurs coming up, you have 5 sage skills you can move with. One is activate, another is navigate, another is explore, innovate, and empathize. So you're going to be performing better and much happier when you get uh, an understanding and a way to work and move past your saboteurs, which will ultimately lead to more productivity, better relationships, better communication. So the core here is really to operate from your values. So this is a minute test, and this comes from Richard Leiter, and he's written several books about finding your purpose and calling. So you can break out a napkin and take a pause here and fill this test out. And the napkin test is list your gifts, add them to your passions and your values, and you'll find out your calling. So your calling is really like what you're up to in the world. So it doesn't have to be specifically a job or a role, but like who are you at the essence of your being? And then what are the values that lead your life? So let's disrupt the saboteurs with the sage steps. There are 5 sage steps, or really sage categories. So first is explore. Always enter situations with curiosity. You want to stay open to all the possibilities without judgment. I always heard this as possibility thinking. You want to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And then move forward with taking on a beginner's mind perspective. 2, empathize. So you want to connect yourself with others and offer understanding and compassion. You want to accept feelings without trying to fix them, show a deep understanding, and look for the different perspectives and be okay and accept those different perspectives. So your action step is practice active listening without offering solutions immediately. Be with people and listen. Third, you want to innovate, or that's an option to innovate, and you generate new solutions and possibilities. You think creatively beyond the conventional approaches, and then you turn challenges into opportunities. Every challenge has an opportunity. So look for what else could come out of this challenge. Next, you want to navigate. You want to choose paths that are aligned with your values and purpose. You want to make decisions considering the deeper meaning and focus on what serves the greater good. So that's navigate. Then activate. Sometimes people stay stuck in their saboteurs. They stay still, they're caught in the thinking, and they don't do anything about it. You want to activate. You want to take action without interference. You want to move forward with clear intention, and then act decisively while staying flexible. The overall picture is pausing and being curious about what's going on instead of falling into the thinking mind of the saboteur or staying stuck judging yourself. Be curious, accept, convert, and then decide how you can take action. All the different ways to disrupt your saboteurs. Next steps. You want to focus on your awareness. You want to think about compassion for yourself and others. You want to practice tools to help you disrupt those saboteurs. And then look for the growth and keep a growth mindset. When you're working through this at the end, as you practice the skills further, you can feel ease and flow in your life. You have less stress and you're making valued-centered decisions and getting those results. Leads to less stress and happiness. So it's so important to get a hold of those. judging statements, those saboteur statements, and move beyond them to be in the presence and truly be the great person that you are. So, all skills to keep moving forward, stay present, and contribute to the world in a large way, like you are meant to be. So, finally, if you would like to learn more about this or go further with diving deeper into the saboteurs and how to get the skills to rewire your brain away from saboteurs, you can join me with the Positive Intelligence Program, which is a 7-week program, and you will dive deeper into your saboteurs and have specific modules that deal with the judge and your accomplished saboteurs, and you'll have daily practice sessions to teach you how to stand up and move beyond your judge and saboteur. So consider joining me. You can find out more information on docmaria.com or email me at maria@docmaria.com. Thank you, and I'm wishing you the best as you lead a life you love and that you thrive and experience happiness. Thank you again. It's Dr. Maria Malater. I wish you well.